Hello guys, this is Anka, and today we're going to talk about the chessboard. So here's the board over here, and you see the number. There's some letters down over here, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and so basically what that means is this is the A file, this is the B file, this is the C file, this is the D file, this is the E file, this is the F file, and G file, and the H file. Yeah. And these vertical files are called files. Yeah. And then there's these ranks, which is number from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means that this is the first rank, this is the second rank, third rank, fourth rank, fifth rank, sixth rank, seventh rank, and eighth rank. So yeah, and basically what that means is like, say there's this square, so and you want to name the square. So so you see that right down here there's an A, so that means the square is called A something. Then you see over here that it's on the first rank, so you name it A1. And yeah, just remember that the letter always comes first, and then there's the number. So for example, there's this square, so you see that it's on the C file, so it's C, and then it's on the fifth rank, so it's C5. And this and like say there's this square, and it's on the H file, so it's H something, and then it's on the 8th rank, so it's H8. So yeah, that's how you name the squares on the board. So then there's some special ranks and files I want to talk about. And so basically this first file and the 8th file are basically what the all the pieces that are all the pieces that are not the pawns are on. And that why it's important is because the kings are on the first ranks and 8th ranks. So and you want to get the king, you want to get your opponent's king, and you want to protect your own king, and that's why it's very important. And it's also another rank that's very important is the second rank and the 7th rank. So when you get like your rook to your opponent's second last rank, so for example if you're white and you get your rook to the 7th rank, here I'll show you, like there's all the pawns are over here, so basically at the you're trying to get your rook to some squares on these that are not protected, of course, so you don't want your rook to be taken. And when you get your rook here, you can capture you can threaten all of these pawns over here, and you can also help some other pieces to attack. And it is the second rank and the 7th rank are also called the picnic table, where just when you put your rook or your queen over there, you can pick you can take a lot of stuff. Yeah. And there's also these the A rank and the A file and the H file. They're the files, when you have your pieces on them, is actually not very good for them. So you don't want you normally don't want to get your pieces on them because they can cover much less squares. So for example, if you have your knight on this square, see, it can only go to 4 squares, but then if your knight is on the center, it can go to way more squares. So yeah, that's but then like yeah, and there's also some really important files like the center two files. They're called the center, the D file and the E file. Why are they very important is because like when your stuff are on the center, for example, like if you move your whoops, like if you move your knight over here to the center, it can cover a lot of squares and it can attack a lot of your opponent's squares. That gives you space, which basically means that you can move your pieces to a lot of spaces. And like at the start of the game, you want to get your pawns to the middle, so then they can also cover more squares. Like these files are called the center files, and like these squares are called the center squares. Like basically, if you get your pawn over here, or you get your bishop like over here, you can cover a lot more squares than when they're on the side. And this is called the extended center, which means that if you get your pieces on them, it's also really good, but then it's like not as good as the center, but it's also really good because it also covers a lot of squares. So yeah, and also like also remember that there's some like technical terms, like for example, these are the center two files, right? And then there's also these this side over here. This side over here also has its name, because the king is on like this side, kind of this side. So then the this side is called the king side, and over here on this side, because the queen is nearer to it, it's called the queen side. So yeah, so here's the king side and here's the queen side, and you can when you're attacking, you can choose to either attack the you can choose to attack the king side or the queen side or the center. So yeah, that's like three areas on the board. Yeah. And yeah, that's basically all I want to talk about today. So let's review a little bit. So first, when you're naming a square, you look at the letter number, and then you look at the letter and then the number. And the letter always comes before the number. So for example, if it's over here is A, is A3, okay? And then this is called the back rank, which is where all your important pieces are on, and these are the picnic tables, which when you get your rook or queen on, it can be very powerful. And these are the center two files, where your king and your queen is on. So and like these are the center squares, which when you get your pieces on them, they're very powerful. This is the extended center, which you get your pieces on, is also very powerful, but not as powerful. And these are the files you usually don't want to get your pieces on because they're not that good. Like when you get your pieces on them, they can travel to much less squares. So yeah, that's all about the video. Yeah, see you on the next video.